To tune rackets, they must first be measured. First, the device is switched on. Let's go. Mount racket 1 and measure swing weight. Then rotate the gripper and measure twist weight. After that, the racket is placed on the balance scales to measure weight and balance in on shot. The first racket has been measured. To save the data for later use, the racket can be placed in one of 9 memory locations. Let's continue with the second racket. Measure swing weight. In order to prevent inflows when releasing, the racket is held after the deflection and released shortly afterwards and always in the same way. This is also the case with twist weight measurement. This not only increases comfort but also improves accuracy. The balance/weight measurement also has a nice feature built in. It is called auto-scale and checks whether the user is still making fine adjustments when putting the racket on the balance scale. The balance/weight measurement only starts when the racket is no longer moved or held. We save this racket on the second memory place. Let's continue with the last racket. A racket can be completely measured in weight, balance, swing weight, twist weight in about 1 minute. Because the device can now synchronize the data via Wi-Fi, you no longer need to connect it to the Metortune app beforehand. This not only saves time, but also offers the tuner unprecedented possibilities. For example, you can decide afterwards whether the values should be assigned to a specific club/user or kept anonymously. So the third club is measured and saved. The whole procedure didn't even take 2.5 minutes. The next step is to log in to the Metortune app. There is now a measurement slots section on the home screen. We can now find our previously saved measured values in this section. I now decide to give the clubs a new name and assign them to an existing user. Of course, you can also continue to manage the values without assigning them to a user, or assign the values to a club that has already been created. Basically, the tuner can decide how he wants to handle it. Since I have decided to assign them to a user, I must also select this user for the next steps. Because I want to tune the rackets, I open the multi-tuner and add our rackets. I choose equalization as the mode, set my weightings and desired tuning areas. After that, I press calculate. Now the software calculates the best solution. Individual adjustments can be made by using of the sliders. Once you have set everything to your liking, simply press calculate again and the software shows me the weights and positions for each individual racket. By pressing on the rackets, the software is showing the weights and positions for each individual racket. Now it's time for some tuning work. For the weight in the handle, conventional blue tack can be used. The Metortune's extra scale can be used to weigh it accordingly. The software calculates the length of the required lead. It is therefore sufficient to simply measure the lead accordingly and cut it to size. To be able to apply it in 2 strips, you can cut the strips in half again. To save a third arm when handling the racket and lead later on, you can easily remove the foils from the lead. This can be a fumble from time to time. So, everything is ready. All that's missing is the racket. I open the back door with a small screwdriver. Take the blue tack and push it into the back door. For larger quantities, I would put it into the racket directly. The modified back door can now be returned to the racket. There is a scale on the box where I place the racket. If you place the racket on the scale, you can grip it exactly at the desired position. Now the prepared lead only needs to be glued to the holding position of the racket. Fortunately, we have already prepared everything. After application, the lead should definitely be smoothed out. It is best to use an old debit card or similar for this purpose. The whole process is then repeated with the remaining strips. After just under 7.5 minutes, our first perfectly tuned racket is ready. That makes you want more, so let's move on to the next one. Racket 2 has several lead positions. The effort required is therefore considerably greater. Weighing blue tack. Cutting lead stripes. Prepare everything nicely again. Have again as desired. Open the adhesive film a little again. To avoid many small lead stripes, you could deselect some sections when calculating. Especially if you need a lot of lead, you can also choose a heavier lead band. So that the software can react to this, you can enter your individual lead per centimeter values in the setup. So time to stick it on. You can of course also attach the lead strips under the grommets. However, this requires the existing grommets to be removed. If the racket is a little older, it should be cleaned before applying the lead strips. Isopropanol is a good solution for this. So the last two strips. Now the blue tack for the handle weight. To do this, open the back door. With head rackets, it is advisable to wrap the blue tack around the sensor bead again and press it down firmly. Now press the back door back into the handle cap. Our second racket is ready. Continue with the third. Only one lead strip needs to be attached to the bridge here. Measure out again. Cut off. Fold and cut. Strip everything down and our third racket is ready. To check our work and document everything, the rackets are now being measured again. Therefore, mount the racket. Measure swing weight. Rotate the handle and measure twist weight. Now just a quick weight and balance check. Just perfect. Save on memory slot. Take the next racket and do the same. Measure swing weight. Rotate the handle and measure twist weight. Now just a quick weight and balance check. It is always surprising how easy, uncomplicated, and quick it is to adapt clubs to this method, and with such precision. So now just quickly the last racket. To familiarize yourself with the complete range of functions of the device, you can use the tutorial videos. In addition, the device can be updated so that previously delivered devices can remain up to date or benefit from new functions. So our perfectly tuned rackets are measured and archived. To be able to see the result better, I will release the camera from the mount and get a little closer. So you can hand these rackets over to another satisfied customer.